Good morning, everybody. Shalom. Sweeney Church. And, man, kind of tour now. I just had a little bit of, a little bit of reflection the last days, right? Everything that's been going on. And, like always, I'm always just thinking. I'm always just, basically, my bad is the signal's kind of off. We're having a little issue with that out here in my hometown. Been had it for a while. Like I was saying, I've been reflecting the last couple of days, and I've been basically like really turned on to, I don't know, just overall in general how the situation in the world is nowadays, right? And man, it's kind of interesting everything that's been happening, right? As far as like not just in my personal life, right? Because that's the reflection I normally do. That's the reflection that I normally put in my mind, right? Because I'm always someone that's so weak as far as the flesh, as far as the mindset, as far as my, the emotional problems, anything else that comes out of me. Everything that used to be sickening to me, right? In my mind, whether it be the lust for the thickness of the women, or, my anger, or just the drugs, alcohol, and anything. It basically has made me always contemplate on myself. Made me a person that's always focused on trying to better myself, right? And that's why I like to. I'm double A, right? I'm double A. I've been to rehab a few times. This is the first time in my life I've been clean, sober for almost 2 years. 5 more years and it'll be so I've been a little bit sober. Not a little bit. I've been almost 2 years sober, right? 3 more months until I complete my 2 years. I'll say in years right now. And it's a blessing, right? Personally, for me, it's a blessing because I've never been in this situation before where I've been sober. I've never been sober at all in my life. Like, never. So nowadays that I am sober, it is a blessing for me. And I feel so amazing. Feel so miraculous, right? I feel so blessed in every aspect that I love it. I just love it, right? And the reason why I always like to, people have told me about the things I post, right? It's nothing about the last time I was online making videos. Basically, people don't, sometimes, especially out here in my hometown, we differ on perception. Overall, wherever I've been at, that's just been the case, right? But more so here, right? Because of the difference of perception, just perception. Everything else is the same. I'm nothing more, nothing less than anyone. Nor do I treat my fellow man in that way, right? So, but basically, a lot of people have been asking me for a while now, a few years, why have I been different, right? Why am I not the old me, the violent, the gangbanger, the pot smoking, like that weird dude that's always angry and stuff, right? Always not antisocial, but always by myself, right? Because unfortunately, I don't rely on people. I don't trust people like that, based on my experiences in life, since always, since my childhood, my teenage years, and everything. So nowadays, basically, it's kind of like I don't really give a fuck about anything in the world, right? Ever since I really become a sincere awakening, a real awakening, I really don't give a fuck about anything in the world. Period. I don't care about anything. I don't even care about the things I eat or the way I dress or anything, because thank God I'm not involved in any bullshit, nor do I do bullshit for me to be self-aware like before. Before I was always smoking and doing all these things full of a lot of hate, a lot of a little bit of jealousy or envy towards other people in the sense that I want to be like them or be in a certain situation. And nowadays I really don't care about that. Specifically the way it is though. I'm trying to talk to certain people right now, because I see what you guys put online, right? Especially, people that are awake, right? Specifically Hebrew brothers, you know what I'm saying? Israelites and Muslims, right? Because I feel like you people, which means the chosen people that are awake. All right, like you guys really have it going on. As far as perception, right? And I had somebody tell me made a little comment about I didn't take it as anything bad. Basically saying I'm not gonna say what it is. The person knows who he is. He said he would never unite under false Judaism or Judaism, right? Because Judaism, they do not recognize Jesus, right, as the Messiah, Yeshua. Back, signal came back. Said something about like false Judaism is like it's a religion. People don't understand Jews are a religion. It does not have anything to do with the Israelites, the Hebrews, right? And the majority of people that are Jews are atheists. Now that we know this, Zionists, people don't know this because they're not put on to this, but it is what it is. If you have a little bit of thirst for knowledge, you will find out a lot of things. And then a lot of people are false Christians, right? Whether it be Roman Catholics, whether it be Protestants, whether it be Jehovah's Witnesses, whether it be any other sect, or any other Roman European imperialist mentality, right? Because if you know about this, you know what it is, right? If you don't, then hey, it's whatever, right? And then something I never heard, Islam being bootleg Judaism with extra content. And I thought that was kind of awakening because I was like, I never made that comparison. Like Judaism and Islam are the same thing. Islam means submission to God. It's not a religion. It's a word. It's a way of life. Right? People think it's an alternative religion. And if you read the Bible, you read the New Testament that Jesus gave us. When they asked John the Baptist about, they asked him if he was Elijah. They asked him if he was the Christ and the prophet. He denied all three. And knowing very well that he was number 2 before the 1, right? If you read about this, you're tuned in. If you don't, then hey, it is what it is, right? Nowadays, it's important that people know this because of the way the world is, right? If religion is not working in your life, if it's not satisfying you, there's a reason why it's not doing its job. It's mainly because you're not taught what the Word of God means, right? The Word of God is not an alternative. It's not a religion. It's everything. It is not like, and it's called Well Established. Anyways, that's why people most of them are not happy, and there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of violence, blah blah blah, a lot of stupid ass shit that you never saw in any other point in history. You know this. You might not know this because you grew up in the era and you were born in the era, the date that you were born in, and the generation you were born in. So you're probably not aware of this because you're like, I don't even give a fuck, right? Why do I care about this, right? But it is what it is, though, you know. And it's kind of interesting how people really don't even focus on anything anymore. They just don't care, right? It just doesn't matter because people are like, oh well, so what? But it's very important because I know people really are focused on trying to be right. I don't know anybody who wants to be evil unless they're stupid, unless they're blind, unless they were raised in an environment where stupidity is valued and glorified. That's basically almost everywhere nowadays except for the Middle East, right? And like certain other areas like the Amazon, rainforest in Brazil, places that haven't been touched by modern day European civilization. The way it is, though. And I was just thinking, man, this brother, you know what I'm saying, this Hebrew man, right, made a point, he woke me up, and I said, whoa, I've been saying the same thing for a while about these people, about religion, because religion is institutional. It's not really, when you read the Word of God, when you read the Bible, and you find out everything that you've been taught about religion and God is not in the Bible, you're like, damn, man. So you're like, well, what's really going on, right? And then when you go and find out even more that they use religion to make you a better tool of enslavement, make you a better slave in every aspect, make you productive, just to produce, just to make things, just to make money and keep the system going, making other people rich and filling your minds where you need certain materialisms and things to be something in life. You're like, damn, like what's really going on? Why am I not happy in life? No wonder there's so much bullshit. No wonder the Yankees are attacking, Muslims. No wonder they've been enslaving the real Israelites and just everything, right? And Then you come to find out that, man, you might have thought that you were clean, or that you were like so like away from, I don't know, the fire of the world and close to the kingdom. Then you come to find out that you're far from the kingdom and you're closer to hell than you think. So basically what I'm saying is, a lot of people don't know what's really going on. They're that stupid, right? Innocently or purposely. Two things, innocently and purposely. I was never stupid to the worldly. I was always blind to the realness of God. That's why nowadays I'm like, man, if I would have known now if I would have known then what I know now, this awakening, this type of mindset, I would have saved myself hella experiences, hella bullshit. Just the way it is though. And a lot of people don't like that. They don't like hearing that because they like to like point out my real faults, and then some, just to say this, it doesn't even affect me in any way. They think I see a lot of people walking around doing like real stupid criminal things for them to look at me because of my aspect, because I didn't grow up around here. That's different. I felt the same way up there. That's the same way I was treated. I feel like I'm still illegal here and there, like I was there, based on the differences, right? But that's just the way life, that's just the cards I was dealt, right? That's just the way I was handed my life. And I had to deal with it, right? Thank God I'm not no criminal or anybody like that, right? But just with the most little that have been my life, just with the little most that my life has been, my life experiences, my story and everything, that's enough for me, right? But the point is, if I would have known then what I know now, I mean, I would have been different. I would have felt different. And I see the same thing for a lot of people. If they would now know certain things and wake up, life would be much simpler in every aspect. In every aspect of their life, it would not be so complicated. But a lot of people really just don't know what's really going on, right? They're so innocently or purposely slept. Like they really and then they adulterate things for you. They fix things for you. They give you a cured version of things, an altered version of things. So basically going up, or you're living with a certain perception that's not the truth. That's fucked up. I think that's not even their fault. That's just the way things are since before they were born. You can't fix things since before you were born. How can you do that? That's kind of stupid. That makes no sense. But it is what it is. I mean, honestly, if you really think about it. And I never say things because I want to, as you can tell, I'm not criticizing nobody. I'm just making like statements that will wake you up, because it's the truth. The truth is the truth. You cannot fix anything. You cannot say, damn, this dude is like lying, or he's talking some stupid stuff. Nah, if you read, if you actually look, if you fact check me, I always tell people to fact check me. Fact check me, and I never say anything just because I read a pamphlet, because I saw a news article, because I saw a video. I researched things since I was young. I know how to tell the difference between something fake and real. You cannot fool me. You cannot bullshit me, and you cannot fool me on anything, no matter how good a lie looks, how well it's painted. You cannot fool me. Like September 11th, you cannot fool me with the fake planes and the fake ass everything. And that was something real that affected the world, still does to this day. One of the main reasons why they're messing with people all over the world, and then they look at people like me up there or anywhere, and they think we're all like criminals, and they think we're all drug dealers, they think we're all fucking gangbangers, they think we're all like stupid and shit. It's a small minority in any part of the world that fucks it up for everybody, right? Whether it be Islam, whether it be my people, Mexicans, whether it be Central Americans, or my Central American brothers, whether it be anybody. It's just messed up, right? Even with white people, like, I assume shit, like, even though I've met, but that's something else, right? With them, with the Romans, it's just the way it is. But I'm not racist ever. I'm not gonna fuck around and ban me like first. I am not racist. I'm just saying, overall, making a point for Facebook, because then Facebook gonna block me and shit. They've been saying they're gonna block me and saying they're gonna do this and that, and they're gonna, I really don't care. I just make another fucking account. But it's just the way it is, right? Because they're trying to block people from preaching. They're trying to stop people like Lois F from preaching, like Jeremiah, right? Like a lot of people that talk sense, and you can fact check them too. It's not like they're gonna talk and have a big audience. Lois F has been preaching since Malcolm X, since the 60s, since emancipation, since the civil rights movement, right? They definitely don't want someone that's like Cesar Chavez, right? The United Farm Worker dude to talk or anything like that, right? They don't want people to speak up. Because if you speak up, you're going to wake people up, and then it's going to move people, and it's going to mess up their system, right, the way it is. But what's really fucking up the system nowadays, or what can fuck it up, is what's going on in other places. Demonic intervention, human intervention, you know what I'm saying? Man-made wars, man-made stupidity, man-made funk, problems, dilemmas, controversies, all of that in one. In the Middle East, like the world, like I was saying last time, a few people watching, things are so tangible nowadays. People don't see it like that, especially out here. They don't see it like that, especially up there. They're more asleep up there than out here. Out here, at least we're pointing through the right direction, which is why going about the Hebrew Israelite dude, I respect his opinion because he should know that there's people pointing towards the right direction. There's people pointing towards the right direction, whether you be whatever faith, as long as it's the faith, as long as it's pointing to the faith in the Most High. I'm not talking about Buddhism or Hinduism or Scientology or any of that bullshit. I respect those religions. I respect them, but they are not that. That is something else. It's like trying to mix colors with numbers, right? They are not the same. They're sort of the same, right? The same type of topic, the same type of sort of function, but it's not the same. If you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so as long as you're pointing towards right, you have a chance. And if you're a righteous person yourself and a good person, and that's been working for you, you think the Most High is going to be so not deceiving, angry and so unjustful and so like hard on you if you'd never had a chance to know this? No, he's not. He is not. He is not going to do that. How is he? He knows your heart is pure and your intentions and your actions are likewise, right? So you cannot say that just because it's not what's written, right? Just because it's not what's written does not mean that it is not, a good intention. You got to point that out because that is so important. That's in the Word of God, right? The intention of the heart, which basically is what dictates your actions. If you have a fucked up heart, a fucked up mentality, then you're gonna do fucked up things. If you have a pure heart, a good heart, then you're gonna do good things. That's common sense too. Things happen in the world with money and everything, because money makes the world go around more than ever. There was a time back in the, never has there been a time like times like now where money has been so controllable, manipulated, like so out of pocket. Before you never had to depend on money on talking about bills and like that. Coins, a monetary system which really dictates every aspect of your life, and if that's corrupted or messed with, it messes with your food and everything, right? The lights, the internet, the everything, the fucking gasoline, the everything, the music, everything, right? So, and people don't know that because they're not put onto this, right? They just see infrastructure and the way things are, like, oh, it's just the way it is, right? Nothing's ever gonna happen. Like, God made this, right? God made concrete and electricity, like, so stupid, right? Thinking that that's gonna last forever, that's more than God. Like, somebody can't come just fuck it up. People know what I'm saying about this. Pardon me the way I talk. This is the way I like double A when I'm in I call it tribuna when I'm giving my testimony, right? Just have to let it out, right? And a lot of people that depend on this knowledge. Trust me, we know this. People out there know this. So money makes the world go around. Out here we have the peso mexicano. Guatemala have the quetzal, the bolivar, the euro, the yuan, etc. I'm not gonna go down the currencies of the world by list, right? We know what it is, money, paper, the little bill that they print out. You can't just print out bills and stuff. Otherwise, it would make no sense, right? If you could just print out bills and everything would be like super chill, right? Like so beneficial for everybody. But it's not like that. Money, bills represent I have no money right now in my pocket. It's all liquid. And money basically represents debt. If you look at the bills, normally in every bill around the world, it says it is a note of debt, meaning it represents something of value. It's not just gonna be something that's because it's just bills. It represents any what do you call that? Anything of value, whether it be reserves, gold reserves, oil, whether it be gems. Usually it's backed by greenbacks, or backed by gold or silver. This is just the way money works. This is like first grade. This is like second. It's like high school economics. Sometimes for me it was second grade. I actually learned this in second grade by myself, just seeing what they taught me in school, and I was like, they're not teaching me the real truth. I'm just gonna go to the library, get my little library card, and now let me to carry the library and just go read, right? And then go online during the late 90s, early. Same. So this is just my thirst, because I always had this. I was always awakened to the world, just the way it was. Right. Anyways, I don't want to make a long story short. So that's what money is. That's what paper represents. And nowadays, the petrodollar, or we know who controls the money, because I don't want to get banned just for talking about the dollar, banned from Facebook or stuff online just for talking about the dollar. There's some people right here, burros, jackasses, stubborn as a mule, they say up there in a lot of places. Just the way things are, right? And I don't think I'm a know-it-all. I just know enough, or I know a lot, or whatever, the most at least that I know, and I try to put people on. This is the real wealth. This is that real gold and silver that you're supposed to lend to. Not even lend, give it out, right? If I had more money, if I was giving out money like it's nothing. I don't know what the fuck I need any money for. Just gotta eat, that's it, a little bit, and boom. 1 meal, 2 meals a day, bam. A little bit of water, coffee in the morning, and bam. And all that could be effective for me and everybody else, just because people don't know what's going on. People don't know how the monetary system works. People don't know what's backed up by this, and they don't know what all this is about and stuff. They don't know about the Federal Reserve System. Like I was saying, I don't want to get banned for talking about the Federal Reserve System, for the the banking. I mean, we know this. Anybody they'll just look for any reason to block any old ordinary person. You don't even have to be a minister or a preacher like that for you to get fucking blocked on Facebook and shit. It's so dumb nowadays. I don't understand that. I do not understand that, but whatever. People be on that stupid things. People be really on stupid things. People be on some dumbass shit because they do not know what the fuck is going on. Because most of the times people are so that they don't know what's going on, right? But things going. I mean, you know who has been manipulating the monetary system. We know who controls it. We know which two entities control it. A certain entity, which is not God, but they call him the Lord of the Sky. Beelzebub, it has a lot of names, Shaitan, Satan. I was about to go to sleep because they used to call us lazy. Now that shit was so hard. We used to say we were lazy. I don't know what else went with that. Now they say that we're too hardworking, that we take their jobs. We're the shit. Where we grow up at, where people grow up at around here, work is nothing. Life is hard. Work is nothing. That's why we'll keep it 100. The way it is. Anyway, so that's why people be not worried about things because they don't know, right? But all these people that control the way things are, controlling once you manipulate the money, which is really controlling it, you can manipulate and control any aspect of life, because money moves everything. Now, anything that's technology, anything that's basically of the modern world, modern day life, you can control it if you control money. This is just the way it is. Whether it be the radio, television, ads on television, online, music, food, culture, traditions, war, shit, even the way you poo and pee. I mean, the way you breathe, the way you think, the way you smell things, the way you hear things, see, anything, the way you dress, anything can be influenced just by the money. That's the root of all evil in reality. I used to think it was just a saying. I used to think it was just a way of, like, a way of speech, but not. Now I understand, I comprehend that it really is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Like, for real, for real. It is not no joke. It is not just because it sounds funny. No, it is the root of all evil. Since the beginning, it used to be precious stones, gems, and things that were hard of chocolate, cacao, and stuff like that, or anything else, spices and stuff that they used to exchange. But nowadays it's become more like relevant as far as how much damage it does and how much fucking effect it has on people's minds and lives. It's just the way it is, though. You cannot change that, though. How can you change that? Mommy, like, everything going on in the Middle East right now. I've been looking at my video and I see something, like, I don't know how they get edited. Like, the signal goes off, but then I see it getting edited, so if it doesn't make any sense, you pretty much get the point of what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying. Everything going on in the Middle East right now, like, money moves the world, but gasoline puts it in motion, right? Gasoline, combustibles, petroleum, oil, black gold. That's the new gold nowadays. Whoever controls that, or whoever can influence that, basically influences the world. We know who does that. It's not my country. My country, they won't let us be independent. They won't let us be independent. Pemex, Petróleos Mexicanos, Mexican Petroleum, they won't let us be independent as far as refining our own gasoline, making our own combustions and stuff like that, because they don't want us to do that. Once we start refining and making our own gasoline, we don't depend on shit. We're already a self-sufficient country out here. We're an agricultural country. We have our own food. We have our own factories. We have our own industries. We have our own companies. We have our own. We're self-made. We literally made it like just like life out here. We made it from the ground up, right? When the Europeans came, we already had people here. The descendancy of Cain, but that's another. I've been talked about that, right? You can go research that. There were already people here with a mark. Anyways, so we're self-sufficient. We don't depend on nothing. The only thing we depend on is that gasoline. Without that paralyzes the whole world. Once you stop that, the flow of gasoline or anything, you paralyze money. You basically, man, it affects the price of everything. It affects the way people move, live, everything. The electricity. I mean, it affects every aspect of life. How can you not fucking comprehend that, right? If you were living somewhere or out here, it's so delicate, it's so fragile. The system nowadays, because life is the system. You cannot. It's not like, oh, we're part of this. Everything's a part of the system. I'm not just talking about the Yankee system. I'm not just talking about up there. I'm talking about the world system. It is designed nowadays. It's been set in motion sneakily. Like they sneaked it into your life because of materialism, the need to buy things, the money aspect of things, foods and everything's so easy nowadays. They have canned foods, instant lunches, all these things. They've just basically materialized your whole lifestyle. You didn't even know it. People that are born just nowadays, they don't even know it because they're just being put on now to things. They're just living life and just learning and going through their natural, organic life, right? The life. So they've sneaked. Basically, people are fucked now, whether they like it or not, whether they know it or not. So if anything happens in the Middle East, because out here they're not trying to let us get independent in that aspect. So if anything happens in the Middle East, in the Holy Lands, 2 for 1, Holy Lands, and there's petroleum there. If anything happens there, man, that's gonna be real relevant in every aspect. It's gonna fuck everybody up in every aspect because, dude, once they stop, if a war ever breaks out in the Middle East right now, there's Iran, there's Saudi Arabia. Sunnis and Shiites don't get along. They don't like the country, the state that calls itself Israel, that has nothing to do. They're Edomites that have nothing to do with the house of Israel. Watch the signal go off. Then you got China, communist, capitalist China. They're not communist, but they're a capitalist country because they have a lot of money. How can they be communist when they're capitalists? America trying to make the Soviet Union's biggest ally, capitalists to damage them, basically came back to haunt them, like nowadays. And then you got Russia, my partner Putin. It's balance right there, and the Chinese. And then you got the European Union is irrelevant. The Vatican is sort of relevant as far as that. And here in the Americas, just Mexico and Brazil and Venezuela struggling, but the three moderate powerhouses that can moderate things here in the Americas, because the United States is the United States. It's the great, right? You know what about Babylon? You read, you know what I'm talking about. We're just synchronized, man. I'm just repeating stuff, or refreshing my own mind, just reflecting, right? This is that reflection I was talking about. Sober though, and what's going on there. If a war ever breaks out up there, in the Middle East, my country, thank God, we're not a fucking country of controversy. We don't like to mingle and stuff. We can't. We're not like that. Just unfortunately, we fuck with each other. We fuck each other up. We rob, we fuck each other just like any other country in the world. But out here, we don't have people from other countries. We have our own people fucking each other up because that's the way they design. It wasn't always like that. Ever since modern life and modernization of everyday life came out here, because of the money and everything has to do with that aspect, people have been hungry, for that. So, we got this and we got a bunch of dumbasses and peons and a lot of pawns, basically disposable pawns. And there's a lot of that. And then you add on to everything else. But out there, as far as the Middle East, more importantly, where the black gold is, the oil. If there was ever anything to come out there and affect, if there was anything to ever break out there, a war specifically, or any tension, any type of controversy, that's going to affect everybody, because then that's going to paralyze the whole system. The blood of the world nowadays is oil, and if you stop the flow of oil, you basically get like an anemic situation. You will have an anemic economical situation that's going to affect the whole world. It'll slowly die. So they won't let that happen, but then they'll implement other things, right? Other systems, digital systems, or any other type of alternative systems of transaction to control the monetary exchange of goods, or whatever it is, whatever kind of debt they exchange, whatever kind of exchange they do for things, for goods. It's just the way it is. This is basic one-on-one economics. Everybody should know this. This is what you study in high school, supposedly. I did. I didn't study in high school. So basically, I still be listening to world music, and it doesn't move me. I can listen to music that contains drug usage, alcohol usage. It does not move me. It doesn't move me. I could be watching porn, like I could be watching the thickest of the thickest, the most bootylicious of the bootylicious, to say the least. It does not move me that much. Try to keep that serenity, my personal desires, for things, just for drama. Anyways, so I don't like them. Blank that out. What I'm talking about. And I'm talking to myself. I don't care about the audience, because I know people see this. As long as this gets out there, that's what's up. It ain't about recognition or I want to be looked at as something. It's not about that. What the fuck? That's self-aggrandizement, self-glorification. That's like basically you doing the fuck. But that's how they could affect, life nowadays if they fix a situation, or if a situation comes out naturally in the Middle East, right? Specifically in the Middle East, or any place that controls the flow of money or petroleum, oil, because that moves the world nowadays. Here in my hometown, if things are not brought from the city, certain foods and stuff, who's gonna eat? I said we're self-sufficient, but not as far as personally, domestically. People don't grow their own foods anymore. They depend on someone else growing it out here, but we're self-sufficient and we don't import anything. We grow it out here. So you stop the flow of foods, you're going to starve to death. What are you going to eat? Dirt? What are you going to eat? Fruit? You could for a little bit, but people are so used to eating meats, canned foods, and soda, lollipops, cigarettes, whatever. That shit would affect anything instantly. People will go mania. And then, people are not used to living in the dark anymore in any part of the world. So the lights go out, man. You're gonna have vigilante season, you're gonna have lawlessness, you're gonna have a lot of pandemonium, paranoia, a lot of, man. But anyways, that's why I'm watching the news, and that's really it's kind of sensitive right now with the United States trying to talk shit to Iran, China, Russia, trying to keep it cool with Saudi Arabia, trying to still instigate Israel and try to they call it alcahuetear out here, trying to friendly, trying to use Israel for we know what reason, right? The state that calls up Israel. It is not the Israelites. It is the state that calls up Israel. They're Edomites. They're atheists. The majority of them are atheists trying to manipulate scripture, the Torah. And then they got the Talmud, and they have Kabbalistic mysticism and all. I don't know what that is. That's not even religion. That's like spiritism. I hear they practice spiritism. That sounds like spiritism. What the fuck is that? That's so stupid. That's demonic. And that's atheists that are running this shit. It's like the Vatican. We know what's up right there. We know people don't know that. Normal people don't know that. If you never had a chance to know this, look that shit up. And then look up mass. Just question. Was there? Man, it's so amazing how people don't know, man. So they're going on in the Vatican and stuff like that, right? The Zionists and that part of the world. I'm gonna get blocked from Facebook. Please don't block me, Facebook. It's just a video, dude. It's just a video. It's gonna be real weird if you block me, try to ban me. Anyways, because I say this because I've had previous warnings, right? Previous
yellow cards and the flag right for this. And then we know what's up with Islam. There's a lot of terrorism. It's not Islam.
I was reading the hadith and all that. It does not say that. It does not say that. How can God give you something that's forbidding and that's bad for you? Why would He do that? Why would He outlaw something and then make it? Don't do that to your people. Don't do that to your people. And then you got people that are manipulating with the Talmud and with the Kabbalistic mysticism, like the Zohar and all these other things. What's up with that? It's just like Vatican manipulating scripture, killing devils. Anyways, man, I didn't even feel my puppy. I was just talking about, what a coincidence, right? I was just talking about the Vatican, right? Manipulating scripture. The same people that crucified Jesus, Yeshua, with his own people, now manipulate scripture. And they don't even focus on scripture. They focus on other things, which is why the majority of places where they practice that, Roman religion, they are the way they are. It does not satisfy their souls, their hearts. It's just like it's an obligation, or it's a custom. It's because they're used to it, and they don't have any other alternative. They don't know anything else. That's innocence. God knows that. That's innocence. That is not your fault.
But everybody knows it's between something bad or something good. Look at S words, man. But man, keep my eyes focused on temptations. Just basically, the religious leaders are the ones that are gonna be held responsible for any manipulation, tampering, like it says, anybody that alters, takes away, or adds on to scripture,
It's gonna have his own personal condemnation, his own result. It'll be taken or given on him. Just the way it is, though. And hell is not fast. The hellfire, the inferno, soul, Jahannam, it is not fast. It is not quickly. People are gonna be like, well, I'm just like death. I'm gonna die fast, and then so I can live life the way I want to, and then I'm gonna burn fast, and nothing happens. Just think about that. Just saying that's gonna make it harder for you. And then you're practicing spiritism, idolatry, fornication, adultery, homosexuality, stealing, robbing, killing, a bunch of things, talking shit to you. Like, there's a lot of things that you think that you're living right, you're not. You're not. The line is so thin, man. And if you don't know, then, well, anyways.
Yeah, just the way it is, though.
Sisters, whether it be any ordinary person like my crazy ass, right? Putting people on to anything, they're gonna be looked at as something bad. They're gonna be looked at as, man, this guy's crazy. This guy has some sort of issue, or why is he talking? And if you don't know this, like, people are listening to me right now, my countrymen, like, what the fuck is he, what the fuck is he talking about? But they know I preach, so they know I'm double A, they know, all this things, they know I like to put people on. Yeah. The signal keeps on going off, so kind of sounds like I don't know what it looks like. Sometimes I go back and look at what I recorded, what I transmitted, and it seems kind of like awkward. But yeah, locking people up and doing all these things. So when they see someone like me, like I'm not known, nor do I want to be known. I don't really give a fuck about the fame or the attention or the likes. I don't care about that. I just care about putting people on. That's why I just post things all the time. I post things all the time because that's the way I like to post it. That's the way I like to make myself express nowadays. I express myself all the time, but I used to just express a bunch of bullshit. Nowadays I try to put people on the realness. It's just the way it is, right? I try to do some Machiavelli type stuff. I'm trying to sound like a clown, like Machiavelli, like Tupac type stuff, MJ type stuff, Farrakhan type stuff, or anything. Just a local dude that's like, that's just the weight, right? So I don't like to. I'm never gonna glorify myself in any way or make myself look more or less anything. I am who I am, and I don't look like no one else. Like my grandpa used to say, and that's just the way it is. That's what I want to get out there, right? The state of the world nowadays, the state of the world, because most people don't know what the state, or if they think they know, they try to make it another way, right? I was talking about the Antichrist system. The Antichrist system is going to be something real. What is that? That means that the world is going to be the way it is when the Antichrist comes. I didn't know this a few weeks ago. It's been 500 years here in my country, in Mexico,
since the Europeans came, since the Spaniards came. Look at it. 500 years. Just like I'm not gonna predict and make it because I'm no one. There's a few years left, not 150, but a few years left until we see those things happening. Look at the way the world is nowadays. Everything that's written in Revelation. I mean, and it's been 500 years ever since Guadalupe, which means the one who shows dominion over the snakes. He who takes away the snakes. Las 10:35. 10:35. It's been 500 years since the Europeans came. That's Revelation. Go look. Like I've been saying, go look at Revelation 12. There's a reason why Revelation 12. 500 years. Revelation 12. There's a reason why Revelation 12 is written. It does not talk about the Israelites. It's not talk about any other civilization. There were already people here in this continent before. Everything's already written. Tectonic plates. That's like, I like to consider that in my own mind as the time clock for the world. God made the world. So tectonic plates are like the little indicators, right? Time goes by, you get an earthquake. Now nowadays you're seeing that volcanoes and everything's already written. So
There were already people here in this continent. Nincantlaka, people that were native to this continent, came from the east. Came from the east of Eden, through the Bering Strait. Do your research. You think God was going to let a whole bunch of people on this continent get lost? Nah, the God is so merciful and so forgiving. And He gives everyone a chance. A lot of chances. So when hellfire comes, you cannot complain with no one but yourself. It's the way it is, though. And you should see the way things are nowadays. Why they attack us a lot. Mexicans and Muslims. A lot. There's no such thing as a salvation for certain people and for certain people not. There's salvation for the good, damnation for the bad, period. If you do not know, you need to go back and, man, you need to go back and do a lot of research, a lot of soul searching, a lot of, man, confirmation. You need to talk with someone, get advice. You need to study. That's what I've been doing, studying my whole life. That's why I know things. I've been studying the worldly, and I've been studying the truth. The Word of God, which is, it overrode everything. It came in and it made everything else invalid in my life. Be like that sometimes when you really wake up, though. And I'm just an illegal baby. Man out. Yes or no? It is about that. It is about helping your fellow man out. If you have that intention, if that's in your heart, if that's in your mind, if it's not, then man. And I just want to get out there to a lot of Muslim brothers, a lot of Israelite brothers out there that are really so like not fanatics, but are so, because you're supposed to be a fanatic, or at least have that love, that passion, but not discriminate people, especially people that are facing the right direction. So also for Muslims, that man, so much temptation. It's all over though. So I prefer people to be wearing the hijab and their veils and everything, right? But nobody's gonna do that nowadays because that's not the way things are. So it's up to me as a conscious person, as a mature ass person to know how to handle that, right? Anyways, the signal went off. Man. So that's the reason why things are the way it is, right? And I'm not saying just to Muslims or Israelites. I'm saying to everybody: Catholics, Christians, Protestants, Jehovah's Witness, wherever you are. Don't discriminate your fellow brother. Put them on. You cannot judge anybody because you yourself will be judged based on that. But it's your job to give them a criticism, a friendly criticism, the help. Put them on. Hey, come here. Let me put you on to this. Especially if they're doing something bad. If they're doing something righteous or good, well then it could be the way it is. But if they're living bad or they're suffering, if you see them struggling, try to help them out, enlighten them, put them to something new. Otherwise, man, it's just gonna be hella messed up. Most High though, I'm kind of corny like that. I like to be corny nowadays and hella like funny because I used to be angry all the time, so violent, so grumpy, real grumpy. People know this. You know this. My whole life though, and so nowadays I feel so happy, right? So I put people on so they could achieve this level of happiness. It's more, I swear to God, it's more easier out here. I put that on everything. It's more easier out here than up there. It's on the fact that we're humble people. We're good. Yeah, we like to, get angry and this and that like anybody else, but overall we're good people. And then we've been slept because of the way things have been, right? We've been made a little bit not aware of things or whatever because of the way things have been, like anywhere else in the world. Fixed education, fixed institutional religion, institutional education, man. But rollers, but yeah, just the way things are, dude. That's why I try to put people on. I don't want to draw too much attention because they're gonna think I'm not trying to instigate something or start something. And I'm in a quiet place. My people are, like some humble people, but man, it's 2019. Things are changing, right? That's just the way things are, and that's all I wanted to say, right? It's just the way it is, though. It's just the way things are. This is not anything, different. It's just the way I am nowadays, right? I just try to put my people on, not for anything else but to wake them up.
The more you wake people up, the more they wake other people up, and anything else, right? That has to do with anything. Simba, Simba, be like that at times. Dudes, God bless everyone. Shalom, assalamu alaikum. Keep your head up. Like I said, ponte verga atrás, no traes pistola. Keep your head up, keep your eyes open, or else, man, we're gonna get you, we'll eat you.